Picture this. You're in a meeting. You pitch an idea you've poured your heart into for weeks. It's brilliant. It's a game changer. And nothing, just blank stares, followed by someone else changing the subject. Or maybe you ask for a small favor, something that would take 5 minutes, and you get that hesitant, "I'm not sure I can right now." You walk away with that familiar sting of being dismissed, of feeling invisible. It's a uniquely frustrating kind of powerlessness, knowing you have value, but feeling like you can't make anyone else see it. It can make you question everything, your ideas, your worth, your place in the world. But what if that feeling isn't a requirement? What if I told you there's a hidden language of the mind, a set of psychological triggers that can make people want to say yes to you? What if you could learn to take apart every no and rebuild it into a yes, often without the other person even realizing what happened? This isn't about cheap tricks or empty manipulation. It's about understanding the fundamental wiring of the human brain. Today, I'm going to reveal 5 powerful techniques rooted in what is often called dark psychology that will fundamentally change how you interact with everyone. It's time to stop being overlooked. It's time to take control. Before we get to the techniques, you need to understand why they're so effective. Influence isn't about winning a logical debate or begging for what you want. The most powerful influence is covert. It operates in the background, leveraging the shortcuts and biases our brains use every day to make decisions. Think about it. When you ask for something directly, people's conscious minds often put up a wall. They analyze, they question, they look for reasons to say no. It's a defense mechanism. The techniques we're about to discuss are like secret passcodes that get you behind that wall. They don't necessarily bypass the rational brain, but they do appeal directly to deeper, more primal needs and emotional responses. This kind of knowledge is sometimes associated with the dark triad of personality traits: Machiavellianism, narcissism, and psychopathy, because people with these traits can be masters of manipulation. But our goal here is different. We aren't learning this to become villains. We're learning the game so we can never be played again. This is about leveling the playing field. It's about understanding the mechanics of influence to not only achieve your goals, but also to recognize and defend yourself against those who would use these tactics against you. Think of it as psychological martial arts. You learn to defend, neutralize, and move with purpose, ready for the first move. This first technique is one of the most subtle yet profoundly effective. It involves framing a situation to create an illusion of autonomy. People naturally resist being told what to do, but they're comfortable making a choice. Your job is to present choices where every option leads to your desired outcome. A novice asks, "Can you get this report to me soon?" This is an open-ended question that easily invites a no or a vague delay. An amateur might ask, "Can you get this report to me by Friday?" That's better, but it's still a yes or no question. A master of influence avoids a yes or no question when they want something done. Instead, they offer a choice between 2 yes. They'll ask, "Would it be better for you to get that report finished by the end of today? Or would first thing tomorrow morning work better?" See what just happened? The question is no longer if they will do the report. That's assumed. The only question is when. Their mind immediately skips past refusing and starts evaluating the options you provided. They feel in control because they're making a decision, but you've already framed the conversation for success. This works in any context. Socially, instead of asking, "Do you want to hang out this week?" you ask, "Are you free Thursday or Friday night?" In sales, "Do you want to buy this?" becomes, "Will you be paying with cash or card?" By framing the conversation around 2 pre-approved options, you guide them toward your conclusion while making them feel like it was their idea all along. This next technique is a bit darker, and once you see it, you'll recognize it everywhere. It's called negging. and it involves using backhanded compliments or mild insults to undermine a person's confidence, making them more dependent on your approval. It sounds like this: "Wow, that presentation was surprisingly good. I didn't think you had it in you." Or, "I love how you're so confident you can pull off that outfit." Feel that little sting? The compliment is wrapped in an insult. The goal is to chip away at the target's self-esteem. It creates a small psychological wound, a flicker of self-doubt. Once that wound is open, the manipulator positions themselves as the one who can heal it. The target starts craving their validation, because the manipulator has made themselves the sole judge of their worth. Why does it work? It preys on our fundamental desire for validation. When someone implies we aren't quite good enough, but that they might deem us worthy, we can start performing for their approval. Recognizing this is your shield. When a compliment makes you feel a little off or bad about yourself, see it for what it is: a clumsy attempt at manipulation. It reveals their insecurity, not yours. And once you see it, you become immune to its poison. We're just getting started. If these insights are already opening your eyes to the hidden power dynamics in your daily life, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. The knowledge we share here is designed to give you an undeniable edge, and you won't want to miss what's coming. Technique #3: the emotional roller coaster, love bombing and tactical withdrawal. This one is the psychological equivalent of a weapon of mass destruction in relationships. It's a two-part cycle: intense affection, known as love bombing, followed by a sudden strategic withdrawal. It's one of the most powerful ways to create emotional dependency. First comes the love bombing. This is an overwhelming tidal wave of affection, attention, and praise. The manipulator showers their target with compliments, gifts, and declarations of how special they are, creating a whirlwind romance or intense friendship in a shockingly short time. The victim feels seen and understood like never before. It's intoxicating. Then, just as the target is hooked on this emotional high, the withdrawal begins. The manipulator suddenly becomes cold, distant, and unavailable. Texts go unanswered. Compliments vanish. Affection is withheld. The victim is thrown into confusion and panic, asking, "What did I do wrong?" Their world, once filled with validation, is now silent and empty. They become desperate to get back to the good phase, and will do almost anything to regain the manipulator's affection. This pattern of intermittent reinforcement, an unpredictable cycle of reward and punishment, works on the same addictive principle that keeps people glued to slot machines. The victim is always chasing the high of the love bombing, giving the manipulator complete control. If you find yourself on this emotional roller coaster, recognize that the highs are a tactic to make you tolerate the lows. Real affection is consistent. Manufactured affection is a tool of control. You've almost certainly heard of gaslighting, but many people don't grasp just how insidious it is. Gaslighting isn't just lying. It's a systematic campaign to make someone doubt their own perception of reality, their memory, and even their sanity. It's the person who, after you confront them, says with a calm, dismissive tone, "I never said that. You're imagining things," or "You're being way too sensitive. It was just a joke." These phrases are designed to deny your reality and make you question your emotional reaction to it. Over time, the victim of gaslighting starts to lose trust in their own mind. They might keep quiet to avoid being called crazy or overly emotional. This makes them dependent on the manipulator as the keeper of what's real. If you can't trust your own mind, you have to trust someone else's, and the gaslighter is happy to volunteer. Your defense is to become an anchor in your own reality. Keep a journal. Trust your gut. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Talk to a trusted friend who is outside the situation. An external perspective can be a compass when the gaslighter is trying to convince you that north is south. Gaslighting thrives in darkness. The moment you shine a light on it by trusting yourself, its power evaporates. Our final technique is one of the oldest in the Book of Power, used by everyone from insecure managers to political leaders. It's the strategy of creating or amplifying an external enemy to unify a group and increase their loyalty to you. A manager facing pressure might say, "Corporate is looking to make cuts, so we all need to band together and work weekends to make sure our department is safe." Suddenly, the team isn't mad at the manager for the extra hours. They're united with the manager against a faceless threat. Their loyalty is now directed by the manager, who has positioned themselves as the protector. This tactic hijacks our natural tribal instincts. Humans are wired to form in-groups and out-groups. When we perceive a common threat, our internal disagreements suddenly seem petty. A skilled manipulator knows this and will invent or exaggerate a threat to consolidate their own power. They become the leader not through merit, but by being the one who sounds the alarm. The defense is critical thinking. When someone pushes an us versus them narrative, always ask who benefits from this conflict. Is the threat real and proportional, or is it being blown up to get an emotional reaction? Look for evidence, not just emotional appeals. By refusing to get swept up in manufactured panic, you can see the move for what it is: a bid for control disguised as a call for unity. I've just handed you the keys to a powerful psychological arsenal. Knowing these tactics gives you an incredible advantage, but it also comes with a responsibility. The goal isn't to become a master manipulator, but to become untouchable. First, your education starts now. Understanding these tactics is the most critical step to recognizing them in the wild. You also need to set and maintain firm boundaries. Manipulators thrive by pushing past your limits. Decide what you will and will not accept, and when they push, hold the line. And most importantly, trust your intuition. Manipulators rely on you second-guessing that uneasy feeling in your gut. Your intuition is a highly tuned detection system for deception. If an interaction consistently leaves you feeling confused, anxious, or bad about yourself, that's a massive red flag. The more you understand your own emotional triggers, the less others can use them against you. Self-awareness is your ultimate shield. Today you've pulled back the curtain and seen the hidden mechanics of influence. From the subtle framing of a choice to the creation of a common enemy, you now understand the strategies people use to get what they want. You've gone from being a pawn in a game you didn't know was being played to a player who understands the entire board. That feeling of being overlooked and dismissed was never about your worth. It was about not understanding these hidden dynamics. Now you do. Use this knowledge not to diminish others, but to ensure that no one can ever diminish you again. Use it to navigate conversations with confidence, to build healthier relationships by spotting toxicity, and to finally get your ideas heard. You are no longer invisible, you are empowered. If this video has changed how you see the world, and you want to keep mastering the art of psychology, make sure you watch the next video on your screen about the 7 subtle signs of a weak-minded person. It's the perfect next step on your journey to becoming untouchable.